Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are building an Halloween decoration for our campsite at the campground that Melinda volunteers at. It is the Puking skeleton Halloween decoration, and when I saw this circulating on social media, I was like, I have got to do this. But it almost didn't happen because I had a difficult time finding a skeleton for the decoration. I searched on Amazon and went to all the Home Depot and Lowe's and couldn't find any. What was happening, people were buying them up, jacking up the price and reselling them over the internet. But I got lucky and I found a skeleton here at our local Home Depot in the town I live in. So I got all my supplies together. Let's go over the supplies and take a look at what you need to build the Puking skeleton Halloween decoration. For this project, you'll need a skeleton, a life-size skeleton. I bought this skeleton at Home Depot for about 40 bucks. Hard time finding her, but so if you want to do this project, you need to plan ahead, and I would even think about doing it months before Halloween starts. But you need a life-size skeleton for this project. You also need a barrel. This is an old barrel that was given to me by my brother. It's been sitting around for years, and you want to make it appear as if toxic waste has been stored in these barrels for years, and the skeleton has gotten into the toxic waste and has made the skeleton sick. So I've got this old abused barrel that's perfect for this project. Some other products you're going to need is a water pump. This is a 550 gallon per hour water pump. You want to if you're going to do this project, you want to make sure that your skeleton is puking violently, and 550 gallons per hour seems to be the magic number. You could go with a bigger one, but I definitely would not go with a smaller gallon per hour water pump. Along with the pump comes several adapters. This is the hook up to your clear tubing. I went with half-inch tubing, clear tubing, that will hook up to one of these adapters for my pump. So you need some clear half-inch tubing. You'll also need some green spray paint to decorate the barrel, to make it appear as if toxic waste is coming out of the top of the barrel. I've got some lettering. I'm going to spell out toxic waste on the side of the barrel. Got a biohazard sticker for my barrel. Green tracer dye. Now your pump, you'll add this to your water, and it only takes a small amount, but you'll add this to your water, and the pump will pump it. The pump will pump it through the clear tubing and out of the skeleton's mouth, and make the skeleton appear as if it is violently puking. And these black lights will make it glow in the dark. So you need the black lights and the green tracer dye to make it appear as if your skeleton is puking. I've also gotten a fog machine and Fogworks fluid to give it some ambiance. So these are the things that we need for our project. And just let me say ahead of time that I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm doing this as I'm figuring out as I go along, and hopefully it'll be a success. We'll find out here shortly. So let me tell you about some of the first things I have done to prep this barrel. I have drilled holes here and here. Those holes will be where I zip tie her hands to the barrel, so she'll be leaning over the barrel, puking back inside the barrel. I've also drilled out a hole in the back here. Now that hole, you'll have your water pump sitting at the bottom of the barrel. Your clear tubing will come up through this hole, and then it'll run up the spine of the skeleton, and then out of the skeleton's mouth. She'll have her hands on each side of the barrel, bending over the barrel and puking the water back inside the barrel. Now I'm going to take my green fluorescent spray paint and spray along the top of the barrel, and I'm going to spray it on heavy to make it appear as if toxic waste is coming out of the top of the barrel. Gotta shake it up a little more. All right, I think that looks pretty good. To get her into position, I have zip tied each of her hands to the side of the barrel. I've also used an electric fence post to hold her torso in place, hold her up. Temporarily, I've used a flower pot, but at the campground, I want to drive this fence post into the ground and attach it to her torso to hold her to the proper position. All right, now let's put on the biohazard sticker. Here is a close-up look of my toxic waste sticker. Now I know that's not very realistic, but this is just for fun. There's my biohazard sticker. So I've placed my pump in the bottom of the barrel, ran the electrical cord up the top, and I've taped the electrical cord to the rim of the barrel just to secure it. Ran my clear plastic tubing out the hole, around through her pelvis, along her spine where I've zip tied it, through her rib cage, under her jaw. I zip tied it under her jaw, and it's hitting the roof of her mouth. The end of the tube is hitting the roof of her mouth, so that whenever it pumps the water through, it'll splatter all over the place. Hopefully not too much, so it'll all still be contained inside the barrel. So now I guess it's time to add a little water to the barrel. I'm just going to add enough to get over the top of the pump. You don't need a whole lot of water. So I'll add the water, and then a little bit of this tracer dye that I bought off of Amazon. Again, I think that was about $20 for that 1 gallon. So we add water and the tracer dye to see if the pump works well. We'll get the tubing set up so the right amount of flow comes out of her mouth. And also be careful with the spray paint. I thought it was quick drying, but it didn't dry as quickly as I thought. And I got it all over me while trying to set her up and setting the pump up. I have used my Harbor Freight 5-gallon bucket to submerge my water pump under 10 gallons of water. And I'd like to thank Harbor Freight for sponsoring this video. Just joking, they did not sponsor this video. So now I have my water pump submerged under the water. I'm going to turn it on and adjust the flow coming out of the skeleton's mouth, because if you're going to do this, you want your skeleton to be puking violently, but you also want it to be contained within the barrel and not splattering out all over the ground and wasting your water and your leak trace dye. So let's plug this in for the first time and just see what happens. kind of like it just like that. I got lucky and it was set up perfectly. But since I zip tied it, it makes it easy to make small adjustments to the tube coming out of her mouth. Okay, so this has been running for several minutes now and the flow is perfect. I'll have to add black lights and the tracer dye. So we won't be able to, we'll have to do an update once it gets dark. I'll get everything set up and once it gets dark, we'll see what she looks like. So this is just a temporary setup on my back deck to make sure everything is working, but we got complete darkness. My fogger is working. I actually have some lights on my fogger that makes it even better. I didn't even know about the lights on the fogger. So my black lights are working and I got the pump turned on. So my skeleton is puking, but now I've got to just add some dye to it to make the puke fluorescent. So again, tracer dye, green tracer dye is what I'm gonna pour in, and I think you only have to pour in just a little bit in order for the puke to show up in a fluorescent color.
Am I what you pour it in?
Yeah, make sure you're getting some.
I will. I'll turn the light off as soon as we see how much you're pouring in there. Oh,
look at that! Isn't that awesome? Again, that was probably only 5 ounces of tracer dye to make this to show up in fluorescent color.
What was it? 10 gallons of water?
10 gallons of water,
a little bit of tracer dye.
Yes.
And look, it's glowing even more.
This has been a very fun project, and everybody loves Halloween. So feel free to share this video with your friends on social media. I appreciate you watching to the end. Be sure to hit that notification button so you can see our next adventure. Get to that.